And we are going to talk about Naughty Dog now. So this is probably where I'm going to get cancelled. No, I'm joking. Just like Sven just said about making game for gamers, not exploiting them. We've seen a few trailers that I've seen that these games might not come out for a long time. And it makes a sneak preview or a trailer for a first game, whether it's CGIs or in-game. It's supposed to make you feel like, oh, okay, I'm putting that down on my list. And there's nothing wrong with that. First impressions. But there's no doubt, guys, that with Intergalactic, now that things have kind of settled, it is getting ratioed to hell. And we can't ignore the fact that it is. What I've seen so far, now I know there's a lot of people that said you can't judge it on first trailer, but this is what sales is. This is what entertainment is. If you see a film trailer and you're just like, nah, that looks pretty naff, but it is getting ratioed to hell. And we're just going to have a look before I say my thoughts. Now, as you can see, well, you know what? I'm going to say what I think first. So, for me, guys, I don't know about you, just going off the trailer. So, I know what you're saying about a trailer, but this is what I get. This is what entertainment, this is what sales is. First impressions are very, very important. Now, for me, some gamers, they might not like the main character for whatever reason. They might not be likable. And for me, they might not be likable. And for me, I like to play a game and I need to like or not relate, but I need to like that main character. For me, if I'm playing a single player game, if I don't like the main character of the game, for me, it's very, very hard to enjoy the game. Forspoken. I actually thought the gameplay was okay, but that main character was so... Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Sorry, Will. I couldn't carry on with that game. She was so unlikable. I couldn't. Listen, not just because of The Last of Us Part 2, but because I hated Abby that much and what happened, I couldn't like that game. Now, I know I keep going on. People say, get over it. I know the classic get over it. I know, I'm just saying from my experience, if they made Abby more likable, not just with a, but I know she had massive arms, but if they made us relate to her very early on for the first maybe 5 hours of the game, and then she did what she did, I might have been able to build that relationship with her and be like, you know what? I understand her. You know what? Games like Horizon. I don't particularly like Aloy. I don't think she's an amazing character, but you kind of saw what she went through as a kid. It was very, very sad the way she was kind of marked out. And when, even though I didn't really like her as a character, I felt like there wasn't much to her as a depth into a character. I still liked her as a character because you saw what she went through as a kid and you could probably see why she was the way she was. Amicia from The Plague Tale, you could see what she went through with her brother. Now, as of this trailer, I don't like it. Obviously, I've said that. I know that it's going to cause conversation. That's what I want in the comments. But I need to like the protagonist. If I'm going to spend £70 on a game, I need to like the protagonist. And at the moment with this protagonist, it looks like another butch woman who looks very unlikable. Like, that's just me. Now, if the game comes, if there's more gameplay that's shown, so if it was a dude... No. I'm not saying if it was a dude. I'm saying I don't get why you just don't make a more relatable feminine female or a butch masculine man. I don't get why you've gone with this sort of thing, approach. But it's not about that. If they made her relatable, it might be another story. But at the minute, she just looks very, very unlikable. No, I'm saying unlikable. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no. There's nothing wrong with butch women. There's nothing wrong. I'm saying I need to like the character. But anyways, it's not looking good because look at it, guys. Obviously, 230 dislikes to 92,000 upvotes. Now, obviously, that is showing that the game it isn't doing in terms of likes and dislikes. So everyone's different. Now listen, are females ever related? Incels are super. Incels. So what do you mean by incels? I don't know what you mean. I'm just saying how what I think, and that's the good thing about this. It's what's wrong. What's wrong? Like it looks like they've made her so unlikable that another, the way she sips the cup, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so unlikable. I don't think you need to like the character though. I played about it, but this is I feel like this is what Naughty Dog have forgotten. They turned off their comments, obviously, because of that. They knew that they weren't. What's it called again? That it was going to cause controversy or discussion. I don't get why you don't just make a good character that the majority of the audience would love. And I've got nothing against female characters. As I said, Aloy, I played both of those games. Amicia, played that game. Resident Evil 4, the DLC. I've forgotten her name. Well, I've played, there's loads of games. What other games have we played? Stellar Blade. And even on their channel, they've got 157,000 downvotes to 65,000 upvotes. That is a lot, guys. Now, what you mean to say is no. And that's what I mean. See, a lot of people might say, oh, you think the female characters need to be attractive. It will help. But I don't think Aloy's like that attractive. I don't think they have to be. I think they have to be relatable. They have to be a good character. They need to come visit the Nutriverse. Now, what's weird as well is that we got some. This is what I think. The majority is negative. So I think no matter if you're excited for the game or not excited for the game, Naughty Dog turns off Intergalactic PS5 trailer comments as discourse turns nasty. Now, this is what I don't get with some articles, because if we're being real, guys, and I'm going to read your comments as well, and I want to hear your thoughts as well. A small vocal section of the gaming populace have taken umbrage with new protagonist Jordan's appearance. It's worth noting the character is played by real-life actress Tati Gabrielle, who's also featured as the villain in Uncharted. I don't get what you're saying, a small vocal. I think there's a large number, I've said. Naughty Dog has disabled the comments as Discourse has sourced the aftermath of the title's announcement. Also, PS5's toxic detractors peddling. Oh no, that was about the story leak. I don't know if that was true actually, because I don't know if you saw, guys, that there was supposedly someone leaked the whole entire plot. I did read it, but I don't know if it's real or not. That's why I haven't actually spoken on it. So Strong has a way of negativity been that these people are now spinning up their own rumors about the game. But that's for me. It doesn't look. I want to melt like. There you go. You've got Anna, who is a female. If you don't mind me saying Anna, is that okay? She wants a male protagonist that looks like Nightingale. No, Nightingale is it? That's the guy at the beginning, isn't it? So I'm just going to read through your comments. But me personally, a first trailer is supposed to give you that excitement, and if you don't like what you see, then you're going to basically, your game's not going to do too well. And there's nothing wrong with that. Wolf Larson, men are DNA programmed. Yeah, of course. Like if she was a good looking female, like majority of gamers are male. And I don't think saying that, some people would be like, oh, how could you say that when it's true? Oh, you should have heard. And if I was Sony, because I feel like based off those like to dislike ratio, I would fire Neil Druckmann. I would, guys. I think this guy, I think he's unhinged. I would get rid of him. What is the thing that Naughty Dog could bring in for the second trade? That's a great question, LHF. Now, this is what I like. What could it do to change my mind? Because at the minute, I'm like, majority, like 80%, I don't want to buy it. I don't want to play it. What can be changed? So do I love a shaved? So do I love a shaved head? So what they could do is they need to make that character likable. If they make a generic badass character. She's, does what she wants when she wants. F the hierarchy. I want to see some depth to her. I want to see her reason for her going on this massive journey or mission. Could they do a backstory of why she's become the way she has? Why is she doing it? So if she had long hair, I would have been... No, not really. No. I'm just like, I don't get why Neil makes these characters I don't get why he makes very, very butch characters like Abby and this one. Why don't you just make a masculine man or a feminine woman? I don't understand. I don't think that's like that bad. Like Forspoken, you could say Frey. Like it's not about to a degree how they look, but it does help. But if he likes that though, he should really just keep that to himself. But Ellie, like Ellie, you can literally relate to. Like Ellie's one of the most badass characters. Even Dina, I like Dina. Dina was cool. No, Abby, listen, I just don't get. Listen, with Abby, I don't get how she had those massive arms and she was huge in a post-apocalyptic world, and with no steroids. She would obviously have to have been on some juice. But this is what I mean. I don't get about Neil. Why don't you make a game for your majority of your audience? I think it's in deep trouble. I think with Naughty Dog, I would get rid of Neil Druckmann. And listen, you don't know this. This is probably years away, 2-3 years. So we're not going to know. But it's getting overwhelmingly negative response from the majority of the population or gamers or audience, shall I say. It's overwhelmingly negative. Yeah, he's so like, I don't get how you turn off the comments on your own game. Like I feel like Naughty Dog, they're so they don't care about their community. They don't care about communicating with their audience. And I know it's all just a game, but we like to talk about games, but true, it's about a game. But at the minute, it's getting overwhelmingly negative. If there's another trailer, I want to see a bit more. I want her to be relatable. I want her to be. Why do we want to play as this character? So why do we want to go on this journey with this character? What is she just? Look at me. Yeah, but I don't know about the comments, because is it just like they are pretty funny though. I have to say some of the comments are hilarious. The surprising thing about this trailer is that Sony left the comment. But anyways, the enemy design looked kind of off. But this is what a first impression does. But we're going to only have to wait and see. Like I said, we're all entitled to our opinion. That's what I would want to see from a second trailer in the future. We just got to agree. And Darian, that is the adult thing to do. We can agree to disagree. Some people like The Last of Us Part 2. Some people don't. Some people like the look of this game. Some people don't. But we're just going to have to wait and see. She listens to great music. True, she does listen to great music and have great trainers and a nice Porsche. That's true. Did you ever think it's Xbox fans hating on the game? But I don't. So 230,000 dislikes to 92,000 upvotes. Could you say they're all Xbox gamers? And she had her hair and a crew. My question is, what made her the person she is in that trailer? Peace and love. Alberto, thank you, man. Hey, no copyright strike, please. Hey, come on, we're just discussing. That's what I'm. Yeah, but Alberto, literally what you just said. She came across. This was made in 2020. She came across such a badass, generic, we need to see some backstory. But Michael, yeah, true. It's very too early to formulate. True, but that's what a first impression does with a trailer. That's what a trailer is supposed to do. Either create hype or excitement, or one where you're like, I'm going to put that on my list. At the minute, it feels like they've got a lot of work to do to convince or excite a lot of majority of gamers, or quite a lot based off the likes and dislikes. But not saying it can't do it, but I think they should get rid of Neil Druckmann after this game comes out. I don't know. I think he's lost the plot. I think he's lost the plot. Oh my gosh, some of the comments are unbelievable. This game is going to make $concordillion. 18,000 upvotes. This dog isn't naughty anymore. Oh my gosh. Let's see, because let's see. Did I miss? Well, let's see about Neil Druckmann. We're going to wrap it up by saying we're going to have to see about Neil Druckmann, because it feels like this is the game where it's going to decide whether he is an incredible writer or whether he's just like lost it. Because listen, you take an existing franchise like The Last of Us and you make a part 2, and obviously it's going to sell well. But now this is a new project, a new IP. We're going to have to see. I don't see you. Not tonight. There's no Abby. There's no Georgia. All right. And July Rome. Some people are excited. So let's see. And let's remember, man, when it comes to the internet, my gosh, it is brutal. Like, you know what? YouTube and you know what? It's brutal. So we're going to, I'm excited to see, though. I'm excited to see what they do in that next trailer. I think it's going to be like a year later, though, isn't it? 100% no. I think it's coming either 2026 or 7. It's literally going to come at the end of this generation. Let me ask you, why are we not excited for Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotai? I'll be honest, Alberto. I'm excited. My gosh, if it came out end of next year, I think they would have announced a release date, though. That's the thing. I personally, with Ghost of Tsushima, I don't like the way they've taken an existing franchise. Now, I could be wrong, and I've said this many times. I was so excited to play as Jin Sakai again. I'm scared at where some games have gone by taking existing franchises and then changing them. As long as the story and the characters are written very, very well, I'll be excited for Ghost of Yotai. But again, I want to see another story trailer. I think like 90% of people, if you ask them, what did you want from a Ghost of Tsushima sequel, you would say with Jin Sakai. But like I said, this could be a Final Fantasy sort of situation where they create many ghosts or many different samurai warriors in different time periods. And then as long as they're written well and the story's amazing and they refer back to maybe Jin Sakai, it could be amazing. Project Sentry, yeah, I spoke about that at the Game Awards, Alex. Brilliant. But again, I'm a bit nervous because, you know, I hope the writing is very good. I don't know, actually. What am I most excited for in 2000? I don't know. I like how Steam numbers can immediately tell developers which types people to. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. I do agree there's been too many female. Yeah, I don't get, like, there's been a lot. And again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like taking Horizon. Why not with Part 3 play as a male character? For me, it just wouldn't seem right. But I don't get why take existing franchises and then you play. Like Last of Us is different with Ellie, because I was happily play as Ellie in Part 2, which we kind of saw we would. I just didn't want to play as Abby. But it would be weird if you took Horizon and then all of a sudden you're playing as a male character in Part 3. That wouldn't make any sense. But I would rather they make a new IP, a new franchise, and you play as a female character as opposed to taking existing IPs. Like God of War, if you're not playing as Kratos in the next one, but you lost 3 spots. I've lost 3 sponsors from Sony, from Ubisoft, from Naughty Dog. I'll never be sponsored by Sony or PlayStation. This is a PlayStation channel, and I love PlayStation. So if PlayStation, if you ever watch this, you're happy, you can send me anything. I love you guys. You know, some of the stuff you do is a bit questionable, but hey, we all have our different opinions. And yeah, it's very, that's the thing about changing. I don't get why you change it. They would never change a female to a male. It's very weird. Yeah, we're going to have to be very, well, there's nothing wrong with that. It was a woman that trained Jin in the first place. Nothing wrong with that. No, it's only because you play, is it? I feel as an old time, new generation is quick on destroying their gaming company over a trailer on new characters. You want a new IP, and then when they give you some, yeah, Alberto, it's a good point you make. I just feel like with Naughty Dog, they've got a lot of some of the stuff Neil was doing when the leaks were coming out with Part 2 was crazy. Was Ghost of Tsushima an instant hit? I don't know, because I don't know if a lot of people were talking about that, but as soon as I purchased that game and played it, I was like, wow. Well, I think it was, but I remember when I played it, maybe because I wasn't PS4, I didn't play it on PS4, and I wasn't really there at the end of the PS4. It's only when the PS5 came out, I played a few PS4 titles. So that's when so it probably was an instant hit, but again, I wasn't really there for the old end of the PS4 era, shall I say. Let's see. It's not looking... Listen, the numbers don't lie, but it's not looking good. But we're going to only have to wait and see. And I hope whoever's here, make sure you stay in. And in a year, when we speak about this game again, we can see what the update is. And that's Joseph, and that's great. And that's what I love about, speaking to you guys. Everyone's got different opinions. I need a game to... I need to like the protagonist I'm playing. Yes, I need to like the story. If the gameplay, the gameplay is going to probably be some of the best. But again, we have to see that. Imagine, oh gosh. Eating your words, a big love. I know this, Reb. I hope you will be eating your words. Listen, and that's what's great. If the game comes out or it sells 10 million copies, I will eat my words. I'm not always right. Of course, no one's ever right. But they need, yes, what I would like to see. Wrapping it up. We are wrapping it up before we hit Returnal. And I'm so glad this encourages conversation. Even though I'm overwhelmingly negative about the game, what they need to do is release a gameplay trailer, but also a backstory of this character. Make her likable. And make the story intriguing where you're like, wow, we need to go to this planet. We need to do this. And they need to show us some gameplay and how the game's going to work. Let's see.